I think everybody wants to be a Christian rapper. Why? Is because when you do gospel music, that never goes backwards unless your life doesn't match what you're saying. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a consistency with the support of gospel music. So if you're somebody, you can always be somebody in gospel music, especially if they know you in gospel music. So Christian rap is like the thing, like right now. Like, you know, you have Forrest Frank, you have Lecrae, who is all these different ones that have, but it's kind of cliquish in there too. It's like if you don't sound like them, it's hard to get into that boat. So it's almost like it's more cliquish than regular rap is, you know? So I've learned to create my own world. I call it the world of DPB.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Adeptus On-Air. I am again your host, Mike Hoffman, and today I am joined by David Paul Brooks, commonly known as DPB. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to be on your show, man. For real.
Appreciate you coming on. So I was trying to figure out the best way to describe you because you kind of hit so many areas. So we can say you are a positive rap artist. We can say songwriter, actor, clothing designer, motivational speaker. You shared stage with the likes of Toby Mac, Deion Sanders, Salt and Pepper. You work with ministry programs. You have a label called DPB Music that promotes Christian and gospel artists. You have another company with a good buddy of yours, B-Bro International Group. You kind of do it all, huh?
Yeah, it's just one of them things, man. It's just, I love it though. Like trying to be an example of what people can be, especially a lot of young kids that and do it the right way without no strings attached whatsoever, you know, type of thing.
So obviously your, I'm going to guess your Christian faith is very important to you, obviously, from what you do. Was that something that was instilled to you at a young age?
Yeah, I was brought up in the gospel singing family. We are like really known in New York, upstate New York, Rockland County, called the Brooks family. So my mom was a rock and roll singer before she brought us up in church. She opened up for like James Brown, Elvis Presley, all those type of people back in the old school days. Her name was Vicki Evans at the time. And she changed to Brooks, of course, marrying my dad. And she just brought us up singing gospel. Like, we had perfect harmony. We understood all that. Never teaching us. It was just like a God-given gift. And so I understand that, I have a perfect ear type of thing. So, yeah.
It's not a bad thing to have. And it's funny you mentioned James Brown. I actually had his grandson on the podcast about a month back. Really interesting, kind of talking about how he's looking to kind of keep his legacy, you know, alive and well, you know, since his death. So it's funny how these things all kind of go together. So is music, obviously with your background, did you always know that your career path was going to take you somewhere into music, or did you have any other ambitions as a kid?
Yeah. I already knew since a kid, based off, I did every talent show growing up. Like I was actually doing high school talent shows when I was in intermediate school. Doing Michael Jackson though. I was imitating Michael Jackson, but they were just floored of, wow, you could do Michael Jackson. And this is before the Billie Jean time. This is like old school Jackson 5. And
Jackson 5, yeah.
And then they just loved it. So they kept on adding me to the talent shows year after year till I went to high school. And I stopped being part of the talent show contest because I would win all of them. So after a while, I was a special event at the time. So I knew music because sometimes I would do Michael Jackson. Sometimes I'll be rapping because in New York, rap was really big. And I've been rapping like, I feel like for over, my goodness, where am I? 38 years, 30 to 40 years. I've been, however long that was, but I've been doing it for a long time. And it's just like, never stop.
Yeah, so now your rap is obviously, as you said, focused around positive rap, motivation, I'm sure a lot to you. At the beginning, were you just doing traditional rap?
Yeah, we was like, that's where to open up a Salt and Pepper, like Kumo D, old school. Kumo D did my 18th birthday party. Like, you know, like this is, so that was big at the time. Like, you know, especially in New York. So everybody wanted to be a rapper in New York or a break dancer or,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I was both. I was a break dancer and all that type of stuff just as well as a rapper. And as we was getting bigger, that's when we started to be known, started to get known, let me call it world of music. We started to get known in that direction until God changed my life.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What was the impetus of what I'll call the theme change to where your rap, had a particular purpose?
Okay, so now we're doing these big clubs. Me and my brother, we're doing all these big club rapping in clubs and stuff like that. But then I would go to church on Sunday. So what I did was I had two DJs, a DJ for my brother's group and a DJ that I just had, and we would make a tape. So the tape I was doing actually doing positive music on one side and the secular on the other side, like talking about whatever I wanted. And
Yeah.
we ended up going to the South Bronx, New York, and there was a legendary Grandmaster Theodore, who was a legend as a DJ down in the South Bronx. He said, man, you need to do the gospel thing. He said, I never heard nobody do it. Now, this is before it all existed. And I didn't know of no Toby Mac. I didn't know of nothing. So I was still fighting because one side was gospel and one side was, just rapping. And he says, you're good, man. But I would stick to the gospel because there's nobody doing it. I had a hard time. And then one day I was doing some landscaping up in New York, upstate. And I just said, God, I give you everything. And that night, I just don't want to rap because it was like a God to me. So I didn't want to do something that I put over God,
Yeah.
And this is how I knew I was called to do it. That night, when I gave up doing rap, God gave 3 pastors my number while they were praying. And they called me that night, said, I don't know you from Adam. God just told me to call you. You're supposed to do a concert at my church. And I've never been out of the state before, out of New York.
Right.
And my first concert was out of the state, Philadelphia. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow. And didn't understand what an altar call was, didn't understand anything like that. And I made up about 6, 7 songs, asked people, do they want to know Jesus? About 15 people came. My first concert, 15 people came to the altar, but it was 3 of the individuals that came up to the altar that I knew I was called to do it. And their ages was 98, 97, and 96 years old. They were the best of friends. And they said, you gave us something else to live for. Now, at that time, back in the past, Christian rap was not going to be in the church. And this is when you get beat down for bringing rap in the church. So for them to say that as my first initial, I knew I was called to. I didn't know what I was getting ready to come into when it came to the church battling Christian rap being in the church.
Yeah,
So that
because
was before that.
traditionally, rap has always come with somewhat of a negative connotation.
Correct.
So you've really taken probably the most difficult form of music to convert into what I'll call motivational, call it gospel, and to kind of make that transition.
It was the hardest thing. And I had pastors literally say this to me: if God can use a jackass, he can use them. So that's how bad it was. Like, we had to take the bullets and the things that people don't experience today doing it. So you have a lot of people that are great at doing what they're doing, but they didn't take those bullets that we had. So we would have sacrificed for them to become what they became today.
So besides these, so what kind of following have you been able to obtain, with, I guess, through also with your label promoting this, but in terms of this kind of music, have you seen it catching on? Has it been a slow process? Like, what's been obviously you spoke about the church in Philadelphia, you've spoken about these things locally, but what has been the reception to this, along farther lines across the country?
It's right now, I think everybody wants to be one, a Christian rapper. Why? Is because when you do gospel music, that never goes backwards unless your life doesn't match what you're saying. You feel me? So there's a consistency with the support of gospel music. So if you're somebody, you can always be somebody in gospel music, especially if they know you in gospel music. So Christian rap is like the thing, like right now. Like, you have Forrest Frank, you have Lecrae, who is all these different ones that have, but it's kind of cliquish in there too. It's like if you don't sound like them, it's hard to get into that boat. So it's almost like it's more cliquish than regular rap is, you know? So I've learned to create my own world. I call it the world of DPB. And I never even try to go that route, but that route seems to find me anyway, not trying to go that route.
Yeah, it happens. Now, a lot of when you hear about rappers, a lot of it's freelance versus, prepared. Is your stuff a lot of that? I mean, if I gave you a topic right now, are you able to kind of put together a rap, or are you mostly, I need time to kind of work it through, get something on paper that makes sense?
I used to be like that. But once I learned how to write music, it's hard to do that to me. Like, it's like, wow. I used to be, that's what it always was. Like, oh, yeah, we getting ready to freestyle, we getting ready to do our thing. That's when you're on the street. But then when you get into the industry and you stay around it so much and writing the hooks, writing lyrics, that it just changes the format because you're not on a stage to where you have to use that.
Right.
Or battle.
So I'm not getting a rap about me today?
Nah, because it'll be the most terriblest rap you ever heard in your life.
No, the most terrible rap would be if I tried to do it to you. That would be worse.
I got you.
I think most people would say I don't come across as someone who would probably be a good rapper. Yeah, it's not my image.
That is funny.
So talk to me about the two businesses that you set up. So obviously, the DPB, as I referred to before, is a label promoting this kind of music. But what about Brebro International Group?
Brebro International Group is like 13 subsidiaries under that. So you have DPB Jewelry. You have, of course, DPB Music. You have DPB Clothing Line. You got all those, so many subsidiaries. DPB Party in the Park, to where we take over parks and we do give everything away free and just whatever. It's like just so many school events, different things of that nature. So it's just Brebro is my boy upstairs, my manager, who he has come and organized me, and instead of it just being DPB, we put his name is Brent. And my name is Brooks. So Brebro, that's where it comes from. So it's been amazing so far. We've seen, since he's come aboard, we've seen like about 6-7 songs go #1. We have gotten hundreds of awards for our music videos and movies and different things. We got mini movies. We got everything. So it's like, of course, the movie thing is in that, one of the subsidiaries, but just doing so much. It's just having that company and facilitate all the other companies we want.
So what's the plan like for Brebro? Like, obviously, is it continue to build all those different areas? Have you seen one have more potential than the others and you're going to put your focus on that?
One thing when it comes to the movies, we wanted to be Disney North. We just, in our mind, we want to be Disney North. And so everything it's come to it. It's supposed to be iconic company. Every company is supposed to be that. Like our line of jewelry. We want that to be iconic to where every kid feels like a star. When it comes to the clothing, what I would wear. Like I got my own shoe. I wish I had it with me so I could have showed you. My own shoe that's patented by me. And it's how I would dress. And because a lot of people come and they come to see how I would dress. Because I'm like Michael Jackson in my mind. So because I'm like Michael Jackson in my mind, as a Christian artist, I know, like if you go into the hood, people first look at your feet. So they want to see what you're wearing on your feet. And that opens up the dialogue. So I have hundreds of pairs of Jordans. Feel me? So wearing Jordans, I already know they're going to say, all right, he's somebody because he got those on.
Mm-hmm.
Having this, I call it bling for the king. Having the bling on. Where'd you get that? That's nice. They know you can't buy this in the store. because it is my emblem. And so, all those things, if it can attract people to see something positive than negative, then I'll do whatever it takes for that to happen.
So back to the rap music, 'cause obviously a lot of it is Christian based, but obviously you talk about positive messages. So besides Christianity, what are some of the positive messages and themes that you try and get out there through your music?
Like speak life. How you perceive something is everything. I always tell, like, let things go. Like, a lot of times, a lot of people are hurt and traumatized by things in the past, but you have to let it go. You have to forgive. You have to let things go so you can fly. It's more for the individual than it is for the person that did it wrong. So
Yeah.
I try to do it to where people, like, I wrote a book called, here we go right here. I wasn't going to put it on there, but No Bad Days, because I haven't had a bad day in 16 years. And a lot of things is how I'm not protecting my heart, the things I spoke out of my mouth and my mind. So if I protect my heart, my mouth, and my mind, I'm going to be okay. You see what I'm saying? And not allow certain things in your heart. A lot of things I will go through is based off the things how I spoke over my life. Look at me, I never can do this. And those are the things that will stop you. I know it's a scripture in the Bible that says life and death is in the power of the tongue. Those who use it will eat the fruit of it. So I learned I can either eat life or I can eat death based off what I'm saying. So I rather speak life, and I had to learn and practice speaking life. So one of the things I like to tell folks, you gotta learn to speak life. So don't speak death over yourself just because, and so that's a big things for people. Like, no bad days. Yeah, I haven't had a bad day. It's all because of how I perceive something. I don't have to join every argument that could be an argument. I don't have to see. So it's like little things like that. I learned to take my thoughts captive, think negative thoughts, and make them positive, because your mind will go nuts if you don't learn how to take those things off. So it's just the process. Those are the things I try to get into the music. Like Undefeated, even though it has some God in it, but people been through some stuff in life. And if you could have gave up, but you didn't give up, so you're undefeated. Right. And so that's like,
that's a good message.
Yeah.
So your book, No Bad Days, I mean, I appreciated your comment that says I haven't had a bad day in 16 years. But you've had some days in 16 years that have been very challenging. And maybe at the end of the day you say not a bad day, but you've had bad things that have happened to you. So how are you ending every day that wasn't going so well to say, okay, you know what? It ended up not to be a bad day. What's the message?
Actually, it's funny because I don't know. Like, I even had to have my son pray for me. He's younger than me, right? I'm like, you have to pray for me because certain things don't bother me. I don't know if it's just age that says, well, that's just what life gave. Like, I'm not looking at it like it's a bad thing. Like, there's really nothing bad that is, like, usually when things happen bad, it's if I get disturbed in my heart, it's because somebody questioned my walk with God or something like that. It ain't somebody cussing me out. I learned they have the problem. Like, if I join that problem, then I would be mad. See, I learned how to just channel it out. Like, people don't mean what they mean. So the situation can cause them to do certain situations. So I'm not going to just let that have that much power over me to go there. See that? So that took practice to where it's just like, you know what? I'm just not going to argue. Like, if you cussing me out, I'm going to smile. You might punch me out. I'm not going to punch you back. Like, I'm not going to go to that problem. But I do everything like that. If my friend had a heart attack, he going to be all right. Like, I can't, because what could I do? Like, my manager, Brent, he had a heart attack, massive heart attack. And the only thing I said, man, God got him. What could I do? Like, there's nothing I could do. I'll help when I need to help, but there's nothing I can do. So people are like, you're not worried about it? No. Why? I mean, worrying is not going to change the situation. Like, there's a difference if I can change it, but when I can't, it's just stuff don't bother me. So it's hard to even say, like, it's really, I never thought it was even possible to be honest with you, until I started walking it out. And then I'm like, look, that's all in my mind. Like I could create something with me and you in my mind. That's not the truth, but I can make it become my truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say, he don't like none of this interview in my mind. Right? So how I would stop that is like, man, we did a great interview. Even though that comes to my mind, man, that interview was amazing.
Yeah, sure.
You see, so I fight it. I fight whatever could be negative and it becomes positive. And it always have panned out 100% right. Just because I changed how I looked at it and what I spoke about it. It's crazy.
But
and
how
people
do you
try to test me? They try to test me.
There are a lot of people, man, that don't have that great positive mindset that you have. And, you get a lot of the woe is me. And, so many things bother them over the course of a day. And what you just said makes a lot of sense, but from a lot of people, those are, those could be just words and not a way that they're able to live by. What would be, if you had 30 seconds with somebody who was really negative and, constantly said, oh my God, I had a bad day. This is this. What would be the one thing that you would say to them, the most important message you would try and say?
I would say to them, you got to watch what you speak over yourself. You're only eating the fruit of what you're saying. I mean, that's what I would say. You got to watch what you say. I even stop people from talking negative. Like, yo, can you pray for my depression? I'll say, nah. Because you claiming something that I can't control. Once you say it's mine, it's yours. So praying for it ain't going to make it go away. So I'm like, can you pray that depression won't come upon me? That's a different situation. See, then saying it's my depression. You know what I'm saying? So
you're saying you've already claimed ownership of it, so it's already yours.
There you go. So I try to change the speech, and the more you keep on speaking something, the more you'll start to believe that something. Just because you say it one time, it takes practice. It takes practice because there's so much in here. Like if you look at anything that goes on with anybody, negative is the first thing that's going to come first before something positive. So just like if you get a headache, what was everybody first to say? I think I got to go get a COVID check. The doctor ain't even saying that. Why can't it just be a headache? But because the mind says, you're seeing a lot of people have COVID. You probably have COVID because you got a headache. See, the difference is, I just said, no, it's just a headache. And I just didn't get COVID or none of that because of that,
Right. Yeah, but you have something, and this is a great compliment. I think you have something a lot of people don't have, and that is a 100% positive outlook, both on your own life and just life in general.
That's why I wrote the book, No Bad Days. And a lot of people are walking it out, though, and they're saying, you're right. So it's like, I've had people call me up and say, like, bro, I have to change this about myself. I had to do, like, it was just like this. I'll give an example what my mind did. Every time I would get a tax check, right, I was like, why would I get a tax check? Something got to break down on me, and I never can use my money based on what I want to use it for. Oh, it's got to break down. And God was like, look at what you're saying. I stopped saying it, and it never happened again. When I get my tax check, I'm going to be able to spend what I want to spend it on. And next thing you know, every time I got my tax check, I can spend it on what I want to spend it on. Nothing broke down, nothing ever. So I think a lot of times your mind records what you say, and it reminds yourself because you said it. Like I had one guy come up to me and says, can you pray for me that I won't leave? They were in a transition place, like a teen challenge of drugs and stuff like that I won't leave in 6 months. And I said, nah. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, listen to what you're saying. Can you pray for me that I won't leave in 6 months? See, your mind records that. If you know he went to 26 rehabs and left in 6 months. Like, what happened in that 6 months that all of a sudden just say, I got it together and I'm leaving? See what I'm saying? So I just told him, I said, you got to stop speaking that. Your mind is recording that. And that's why it's every 6 months. He said, he went to 26 of them and left everyone after 6 months. I said, you got to stop speaking that. Your mind is reminding you, you're good. Look, you don't need this no more. And now you're leaving. So you got to finish the course so you can be done with it. Because, so.
To your previous point, I've always thought this. If you're a criminal and you rob a bank, and you've robbed the bank, but you tell yourself enough that you didn't rob the bank, I honestly believe you could convince yourself that you didn't rob the bank. So I do believe there is that message that if you tell yourself something so many times that's just not true, it's almost like I think you could trick your mind into believing that it never happened.
Well, that's why a lie can become the truth, because people lie so much that they don't think that they're lying after a while. Their lie becomes the truth. So you're exactly right. It's like it's a brainwashing thing. You need, like, in the Bible it talks about you have to transform your mind. Think on things that are good. Think on things that are noble. So it's my job to think on those things. It's not going to happen like that.
Right.
Especially with the negative stuff that has gone in my life. So I have to transform it to be great. Like, it's not going to be great if I don't do nothing. It's just like for PTSD. I mean, I'm being honest. If somebody don't pour good things in the mind, you have nothing to combat the bad things. So if you meditate on those bad things will overtake you all the time. Yeah. So you have to transform it. Like, nah, I got to put this good stuff in it. I got to hang around good people, not negative people. And negative people will come somehow. You ever been happy? And then somebody negative comes to you. And next thing you know, you're sad when you were just happy because they were sad. See, so I learned not to hang around negative people. Or if you're going to tell me something negative, you have to listen to my positive. I can't be a garbage can just to listen. I'll listen though, but you got to hear my positivity at least after, So it's just the point of, it's that type of thing. It's, so.
You definitely give preacher vibes, which is obvious.
I try to keep it neutral. So but those things have worked. And if I wouldn't do it if they didn't work in my life.
Yeah,
not
of course.
Just like, I was brought up this way and this is the way it is. Nah, it's like, it really actually works. And that's the difference. And I'm like, wow, I don't know what to say to nobody other than I'm living it. If I wasn't living it, it wouldn't matter to me. But because it works and I'm living it, that's the only reason why it's like, I don't know what else to say based off.
Yeah. Now, your guidance is obviously all positive, but I imagine the messages you try and get across are different for different people of different ages. Because obviously a message. Sure. So really quick, we have like a few minutes left. I'm just going to give you an age and give me the really quick message that you think is the most important thing you could say to them if you had like 10 seconds with them. So if it was a 10-year-old, what would you say to them?
Obey your parents. Obey your parents. All
right. So now let's talk about a young adult, in that 17 to 20 range. You're basically finishing high school, starting to go out on their own a little bit.
Learn to be a leader and not a follower.
Okay, good. Okay, a first-time parent.
Pay attention to your kids and make sure that you don't be like other parents that just give them phones and everything else to take up the time. Pay attention to their kids. Pay attention and talk to them. Don't just make,
a successful career person in whatever career.
Always a successful career person. That's good though. You're not successful until you let somebody else experience your success.
Okay, perfect. And last one, we'll say someone who's just retired and is entering that retirement portion of their life.
Make sure that you whatever you're about to do, that you're enjoying what you're about to do, because that part, your working part, is over. So make sure that you're in a place where you have peace and joy and not ruckus in your life trying to go retire. Peace, joy, no ruckus.
Perfect. How can people follow you on either your websites or social media? Kind of give us all where we can track you down.
Everything at World of DPB. Everything. Twitter, World of DPB. Facebook, World of DPB. TikTok, World of DPB. I do a TikTok show every morning. 8 o'clock in the morning. People show up. They love it. I'm teaching the word. I'm doing all type of stuff. hidden issues. But everything World of DPB, Instagram World of DPB, so everything World of DPB.
Perfect. All right, so DPP, there you go. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming on. Some pretty fascinating stuff. It's there's a lot of negativity in the world, and it's nice to have a 30-minute conversation that's all about positivity.
For sure, man. I love it. I mean, that's what's going to make it happen. That's how you get forward in life, is being positive. Positive, a happy heart, Bible verse. Happy heart is good medicine.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, appreciate you coming on, and nothing but continued success to you.
Thank you, my man.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Adeptus On-Air. If you like this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. The views and opinions by the podcast speakers and guests are solely their own and do not reflect the opinions of Adeptus. This podcast provides general information only and is not intended to constitute advice.